Well, because I put out a budget plan to get the consensus of one person in Congress, me. I didn't put out a budget plan to get the consensus of a majority of Congress. But here's the point, what I was trying to get with this plan. I was trying to get this discussion about entitlements and our debt crisis at an adult level. Clearly, that's not happening. I want to give younger people the option of having the same retirement you and I have, Debbie, if they want it or not.
Then we need to reform Social Security, not yank the rug out from under them. Investing in the stock market is a risky gamble.
If it's good for you and me and our families, why isn't it good for everybody else in this country?
Here's the point. If you can let me, because this is your time, so it'll just take a long time.
Okay.
Here's the point. Leaders are supposed to fix problems. We have a $99.4 trillion unfunded liability. Our government is making promises to Americans that it has no way of accounting for them. You're showing that you have no plan to get this debt under control. You're saying we'll stabilize it, but then it's just going to shoot back up. And so my argument is, that's Europe.
We're not coming before you today to say we have a definitive solution to that long-term problem. What we do know is we don't like yours.
We spend too much of our time and our intellectual effort measuring compassion for those in need by measuring inputs. How much money are we spending? How much money are we increasing spending? How many programs are we creating? But we're not measuring outcomes. Are these programs working? Are people getting out of poverty? The growth rate of Medicare under this budget is the same one the president proposes in his budget. So for the chart my friend from Maryland used about saying this is what the Republican budget does to growing Medicare out in the future, it's the same one President Obama proposes. Here's the difference. President Obama, in his law, the one being debated over at the Supreme Court, says 15 unelected, unaccountable bureaucrats will be in charge of putting price controls and cuts to Medicare to accommodate that growth rate, versus our plan to put 50 million seniors in charge of choosing what health care plan is best for them. So if we're talking about who's saving and strengthening Medicare, it is this budget as opposed to the status quo, which raids it, rations it, and still allows the program to go bankrupt. The American taxpayer might want to know that government estimators are telling us that this bill will cost $1 to $2 trillion in a new health care entitlement, which will surely add more deficit and debt to future generations. The shame of all of this, Mr. Speaker, is that we could fix what's broken in health care without breaking what's working in health care. The difference is this. We don't think all the answers lie in Washington regulating all of this. So the problem with the approach we're seeing that you're offering, which I do believe, Senator, is very different than what we're saying, is we don't want to sit in Washington and mandate all of these things. So what you're doing is you're defining exactly what kind of health insurance people can have. You're mandating them to buy this kind of health insurance. And so first, a little bit about CBO. I work with them every single day. Very good people, great professionals. They do their jobs well. But their job is to score what is placed in front of them. And what has been placed in front of them is a bill that is full of gimmicks and smoke and mirrors.